Imagine being an artist in 2024. You poured your heart and soul and probably a small percentage of your life spending hours of time and effort on your latest artwork, feeling proud and excited to share your masterpiece to strangers on the internet, only to be bombarded by numerous comments saying this, and this. Almost like you're being gaslit into thinking your work is actually made by AI. But it's not. The reality is, being an artist on social media today is a lot more challenging than before. When 3 to 4 years ago, the biggest problem of artists were art tracers and becoming a delicious crustacean by sitting on our asses too long from drawing all day, now we have to compete with the flood of eerie anime girl characters with broken limbs, extra fingers, and unexplained necklaces piercing through their neck. Oh, I miss the days when we could just post art with no worries of it getting scraped to be training data underneath our noses. But I guess we're too privileged back then. And the rich billionaires would rather save a few pennies than pay legit artists because, hey, you can't have a job that you enjoy. That's not how the real world works. If you're an overthinker like me who also happens to be an artist looking to build your art career online, you may be thinking, is being an artist on social media still worth it? Well, you're in luck because in this video, we'll be answering that question. And since I like you enough, I'll also be revealing 3 useful tips plus 1 bonus tip on how we as artists can keep moving forward in a world flooded with AI-generated art. So stick around! Hey, hello, I'm Flo. I'm an artist who's been dedicating my life into creating art for many years. I've been on quite a long hiatus from posting personal work ever since the rise of artificial... I've been on quite a long hiatus from posting personal work ever since the rise of artificial intelligence. It doesn't help that I'm an overthinker and I get anxious when I overthink things, so the AI thing definitely got to me. But then I realized, that's stupid, and I should just continue what I want to do. So I made this video to helpfully get people who had the same experience of not wanting to do art anymore because of their fears with AI to realize that it shouldn't be the case. And now I'm challenging myself to keep drawing by creating this YouTube channel. I plan to do art speed paints, commentary, and tutorials for beginner artists who want to kickstart their art journey. If this is something you enjoy, go ahead and subscribe and turn on the notification bell for future videos from me. But of course, before we can answer those questions, we must first know the current situation going on with Gen AI. With generative AI being widely accessible, AI-generated art has flooded social media, blurring the lines between human artists and AI creators. Whenever I open up Google or Pinterest for some references, it just starts into this involuntary game of figuring out if this piece is AI or not. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm so sick and tired of having to do that. This is especially bad for beginner artists who's starting out and are using AI-generated work for their anatomy studies. If you're using AI to study anatomy, by the way, I don't know why you would do that, but save yourself some trouble and just use real-life photos instead. My point is, if it's already hard to learn anatomy using real people, then studying AI would probably be like copying your friend's math homework, expecting it to be all correct, but it's 10 times worse than you could ever imagine. Sometimes, people don't even disclose that their work was created by AI or even remove AI credits altogether, misleading their audiences into thinking that their work is their own. Due to this, artists would post their work in progress online for people to see, claiming their art's validity. It's actually a win-win since posting the whips not only show the legitimacy of the artist, but also knowing that art takes a long time to make, it's a way for artists to post more content to please the unforgiving social media algorithms. So just post your whips and call it a day, right? Problem solved, right? On February 15, 2024, OpenAI previewed Sora by releasing multiple clips of these dreamlike generated videos. They also shared this particular clip with what seems to be a person painting a tree with certain elements of the tree just magically completing itself without the person's brush ever touching that space. Yeah, this reminds me of what people think artists do when they draw. Just magically wave your brush to the canvas and it will just make leaves pop out of nowhere. And just a few months after Sora's release, these started showing. Notice anything suspicious? At first glance, you may see a completely ordinary speed paint, but no, this is an AI-generated speed paint. Yep, an AI project called Paint Undo shows a variety of speed paints of AI-generated art. It's crazy how far AI has come. I have to admit it's quite impressive. To the untrained eye, it looks convincing enough. Here are some more samples of Paint Undo recreating a speed paint video of a generated image. If I didn't look twice at this, I'd probably think it's a normal speed paint since the generated video seems to mimic the way how usual artists paint, creating many changes and iterations. But looking closely, I kinda noticed that the AI never really does any construction lines for the characters, and it kinda shows complete pieces altogether, almost like it's being generated. And not exactly a step-by-step speed paint. But I guess it makes sense since it's just a few seconds of footage, similar to how time lapses on Procreate are compressed to fit into a few seconds. It does not exactly show the same type of time lapse as how recording a clip studio through OBS, for instance, where you can get to see the brush and the intricate brush strokes you make, and the rapid canvas flipping just to check if the character looks like a character, or those random app crashes midway through the work without being able to save. One may ask, well, what's the problem with this anyway? Let me tell you, it has the same problem with AI-generated images. This technology would have been cool if it wasn't trained by questionable data from probably hundreds of thousands of art and speed paints posted by real artists all over the internet. Allegedly, of course.
What data was used to train Sora?
We used publicly available data and licensed data.
So, videos on YouTube?
I'm actually not sure about that.
What would this be for anyway? Is it for aesthetics? To impress your friends and badly impersonate a hobby with robot hands? With this type of technology, it would be a no-brainer for AI generators to use this as a means to deceive people into thinking that they did the artwork themselves. Is this the world we're living in now? Not only do we as artists have to prove ourselves to be legit by posting whips, but now that makes it more difficult due to these AI speed paints. Basically, it just blurs the lines even more. If you know any other reason behind why this was created, do tell me in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know. With all these issues going on right now, I noticed a lot of artists saying that they're unmotivated and don't see the point in continuing being an artist. They lose hope in their art or stop making anything creative altogether. And I get it. I personally felt the fear of AI and have been thinking of what the future holds for me as an artist. It made me question if I should have taken a different career instead, becoming a lawyer, a water taste tester, or a YouTuber. Oh wait, for instance, it took me months to find the courage to draw personal art again, feeling like a deer in headlights every time I look at a canvas and an AI war starts in my head. Well, besides when I create work-related stuff and commissions, of course, cause you know, bills. I am not in any means a seasoned professional. At least, I don't consider myself to be one yet. I mean, yeah, I've been drawing for as long as I can remember holding a pencil. I've been freelancing for 8 years now, but only recently started my career as an artist in the game industry. Probably not the best time for it though. So my perspective would be a little different from someone who's already worked for years in the industry. so please keep in mind, my fear and pessimistic view on this is highly due to my lack of experience. I tell myself, what's the point if every time I create art and try to post it online, it will eventually be used to train AI? Isn't the answer just to stop posting and stop everything altogether? Creating a world deserted of any new and original art, basically. It will just be desperate enough for new content. It will eventually eat itself, feeding on its own freaky 17-fingered anime girls, and implode. Oh wait, that's already happening. Nice. But the more I think about not creating any art, the more I feel like I'm just removing a ton of credit that's put into the process of creating art. The reality is, AI is here, but it's not exactly a foolproof way to replace artists. There's a completely different way, but I won't tell you how to do that today. But if you want to know how, I'll make a different video for it. Comment down below for a step-by-step tutorial on how to completely replace artists. Okay, but seriously. From my months of reflecting on my fears and interviewing some fellow artists with their opinions on AI, I came up with some few points on why AI can't replace artists. Besides the completely unethical way of training on billions of scraped work, AI still can't prompt highly specific artworks with small iterations while keeping things consistent. From the perspective of someone with a little baby early experience and working in the industry, a project isn't just created by a brief, create an image, and then it's done. It needs to get approved by everyone in the team. It passes through multiple changes, thus it needs to be revised for every single detail. Sometimes it's as little as adjusting the perspective of a pocket button on a character's shirt, something so minuscule not even an average person would see unless you point it out. It's not something AI can just correct on its own unless a person corrects it themselves by drawing it in. But then, what would be the use of that? It wouldn't be as efficient as just hiring an artist who studied the briefs and character design to accurately get what the project needs without the worry of completely messing up the entire image. Another argument I keep on hearing on why artists can be replaced is because AI is cheaper than hiring humans. Well, it doesn't seem that cheap to me. Okay, but the thing is, cheaper doesn't mean quality. Also, investors themselves are worried about how the they'll ever turn a profit from their $1 billion worth of investments in AI. They currently don't know how to monetize it. What? They'll be charging everyone with insanely priced subscriptions? I thought the point on why companies would use AI instead of artists would be to save money. On top of that, the prices companies also have to face for never-ending copyright lawsuits and overwhelming amount of backlash from their customers not supporting those AI works. All this pain and struggle just for integrating AI, and most likely these companies would still need to hire someone to fix the AI's monstrous outputs just for it to look acceptable. With all this, AI just doesn't seem that sustainable to me now. So by reflecting on these points, it gave me a sense of comfort and clarity that maybe I'm exaggerating my fear a bit. I realized that AI should not be the reason for me to pause my art journey and stop improving. The feeling of getting inspired and drawing something I like, and the painfully long process of learning the basic fundamentals of art, only to learn them all over again, can be extremely overwhelming and can even be scary at times. But it's what makes it fun. At the end of the day, it's all worth it. But of course, we can't rely on sheer willpower and a hopeful thinking that good guys always win in the end, like every cliche feel-good movie. This is reality, people, and since technology is always evolving, I personally think that we as artists should also evolve. So now let's talk about what we as artists can do about it. This first solution is quite common. But based on what I noticed with other artists out there, it seems that it's not something most artists bother to do. And that's making sure to protect your art with glaze and nightshade. Most of you have probably been aware about glaze and nightshade by now. It's a type of protection for human creatives against invasive users of generative artificial intelligence or Gen AI that we can download to use on our works. For glaze, it adds a layer of protection to your work to prevent style mimicry by the AI. Basically, it will prevent the AI from from imitating your artist's likeness in your pieces, like how you use your brush strokes, certain lines, and smaller details that you as an artist could see. And for Nightshade, it makes it so that the AI interprets a different image than your actual subject image. I'll be putting a link to Glaze and Nightshade's website in the description below. You can check their site to learn more about it. I personally think that most, if not all, artists should use it, no matter how big or small of an artist you are. Another thing I've been seeing through TikTok is using these pattern images and overlaying it to their art. This hasn't been proven to be effective against AI, do correct me if I'm wrong by the way, but hey, adding this as well as Glaze and Nightshade is better protection than no protection at all. I know most of you would be asking, wouldn't this be useless? I already posted all my works for years online, I could just re-upload everything with Glaze and Nightshade. Yeah, you're right on that. It's devastating to know that our previous art is probably already scraped to train AI. But the main difference from the art that you posted years ago is that it can be improved. We're always improving. The best part about learning is that it may never end. As humans, our styles always change and we add many different things in our art as we grow and improve. At least by using the extra protection for our new works, we can be more assured in having our current style and future improvements safe. I recommend only posting glazed and nightshaded versions on your social media accounts and keep the original files safe, by the way. Okay, for the next solution. Don't engage with AI-generated works. I think avoiding AI altogether would be inevitable, especially as of now, that almost all companies have integrated AI to their products one way or another, even if it doesn't actually involve using AI. Generative AI is made by billions of scraped images on the internet without the consent or compensation of original creators. Thanks to artist veterans such as Carla Ortiz, Sarah Anderson, and Kelly McKernan, they are using all their time and effort to advocate for the legislation and regulation of generative AI. Just for us artists to have our rights to our own work and for companies to not f us over. I think as artists, it is our best interest to be behind them in this battle. And the best way to do that is to not engage in any generated content. I personally hide or block any AI content from my timeline just for the algorithm to not show me any, not even a react, not even a comment, just block. And it's completely fine because I would rather see real works and support real talented creators in the first place. If more people did this, then this will signal the algorithm that AI type content is not something people would want to see, which is true. Same case with being more informed of the services that we use and pay for. If we don't pay for AI work, companies would not continue if there's no profit. And thankfully, so far, every mainstream AI-generated bullshit has been quite bad and it's been scrutinized by the fan bases, as they should. As for the use of AI as a tool for artists, this is my take. I don't think artists should be using Gen AI as of now. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against innovation or using tools to make our works easier. AI has always been used in most creative apps like the auto selection tools. I'm just saying that it's probably way too early to accept generative AI as a means for artists to use in their creative process, because if we did use it as a tool, besides the ethical connotations it has, it's like we're giving these companies the okay signal to keep using and exploiting artists' works. Of course, it would be a different story if an artist were to create their own Gen AI with their own works and use that as a tool, because that would just be using their own work with their consent and not exploiting anybody else's. But yeah, on to the third solution. Show your personality online. Wait. Does this mean all artists should be content creators now? TikToker, YouTuber, VTuber, social media influencer? If you're an introvert like me, hear me out. In this day and age, I think that artists should be more flexible in presenting their work. The difference between other art mediums like acting, singing, dancing is that it requires the person to show their unique personalities. There's a face to the name, basically. And because of this, it's a lot harder for AI to try and steal their craft when actors get deepfaked and thus get burned and rampaged by everyone. I know that being a content creator isn't for everyone, and since we're all individuals with our own thoughts and free will, you don't have to be one if you don't want to. I'm just saying, it's something that artists might have to consider if they want to stand out on social media. The competition before was already tough, and now we're also competing with AI art influencers. Yes, you heard that right, AI art influencers. Oh my god. As sad as it is, it's a lot easier for the average person to not give a crap when AI is replicating just a random artwork online, let alone if that artwork is just from a random silent creator, which I'm sure most artists are. I'm not trying to shame anyone, by the way. Art is not exactly the most extroverted medium out there. If it is, do tell me, because I must have been doing something wrong all these years. I'm just saying, artists would benefit greatly by showing their personalities and having a platform. This could mean extra steps into showing your unique selves online, showing your creative process on TikTok or YouTube, sharing your thoughts and behind the scenes, our unique process in creating the art, showing our authenticity in the process of being human through art. This is one thing that AI can never replicate. Well, at least for now. This is actually the exact reason why I wanted to create this YouTube channel in the first place, to share my thoughts, my process, my art journey. It's something I've always wanted to do, years ago even before AI came out, but I never really had the courage to do so because I felt like posting art should be enough. Though that sentiment may be true back then, it will not be the case forever. So what better time to do it than now, am I right? I actually noticed an influx of new art YouTubers in my feed, and it's really inspiring to join the bandwagon. So yeah, those are my 3 tips on what to do as an artist in 2024 moving forward. Protect your art with glaze and nightshade, don't engage nor support AI-generated works, at least for now, and show your personality online. But wait, there's more! I actually have a bonus tip for you since you've been so good and are still watching this video until now. I can't believe this video has been so long now, but okay, for this bonus tip, it may be a little bit on the nose, but I think it's highly worth mentioning, and that is to encourage others to continue learning. Show how fun it is to learn new things and motivate one another to continue doing art. AI discouraged and even stunted the growth of beginner artists who initially wanted to learn art for fun. Imagine having to learn something only to feel overwhelmed by the presence of AI, which might make art seem meaningless or useless. If that's the case, let's try to be more encouraging to artists out there who have been feeling this way. This can be as simple as sharing our art techniques, offering constructive criticism, with consent, of course, and supporting each other to improve. Contrary to what I said previously about an AI art desert, we can't just let new art die because of AI. Whoa, that rhymed. To artists feeling demotivated, remember that it's okay to feel that way. It's a natural part of being human. Just keep pursuing what you enjoy. Imagine a world with no original works, just AI-generated images from previous generations. Nothing is original, nothing is unique, because it will all just be based off of everything that has already been made. Do we really want to have a future where fuzzy, dreamlike images are the norm? I sure hope not. To answer the question, is being an artist on social media still worth it? For me, despite the extra effort, yeah. And with that, I leave the question to you. Do you agree or disagree? Comment down below. And that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for upcoming uploads from me. Okay, bye!